While everyone's sharing, please get something to eat. This is for you guys. We have books. Well, no, we have cookies that look like the book. So please get a cookie, water, and then Sam, can they purchase the book inside? Okay, if you want to purchase the book, and then happy to do some signings. So let's hear from some other folks. I see we have Claudia here from Cal Optima. And yeah, I mentioned my colleagues. We have Lee Fink. Does your Courtney's here? She's probably the newest mom here. Her little baby is 4 months old, 5 months old, and such a cutie. Any and you mentioned to me that you decided not to go back to work. Yeah, and so want to talk to us about kind of even that thought process, just about how it's nice to be able to maybe choose that, and then just how you've managed the last 5 months. Yeah, yeah, come through the mic. Courtney.
I loved my career, and actually, when I was still pregnant, my family thought I was crazy, but they're so sweet. They're such sweet people. They just said, "Oh, that's nice, Courtney," because I was due in December, and I had been named a rising star by an industry group for my industry, and I was. That was which was amazing that I was getting so far in my career. And as part of being named a rising star, there was a conference that was going to be taking place in Miami Beach. And I thought, that's amazing. And this conference was going to be in February, and my baby was going to be born in December. And I thought, I can do it. I will do this. This is going to be awesome. And so I told my family that this is what I was going to do. And they were all like, oh, that's great, Courtney. Like, and my boss was like, Courtney, when you have a baby, things change. And I thought, sure they do. They changed for you, but they won't change for me. But I'm also a little crazy. And let me tell you that prior to going to labor, I didn't believe that I would have labor pains. I know. I see the look on your face. I'm a little bit narcissistic, everybody. And but I had reasons for this narcissism. My mother told me that she never had labor pains. My sister claimed she never had labor pains. So I would hear people say, "Oh, labor is terrible. It's awful. It's terrible. You're going to love your epidural." And I thought, I'm not going to need an epidural. I don't need that. So I was surprised to find that yes, I'm a normal person. I don't know about my mother and my sister. They are abnormal. And I got my epidural and I loved it. Anyway. So that was my first sign that things might not be the way that I expected them. So anyway, so when I had my baby in December, and a couple of weeks in, my in-laws were asking me, well, Courtney, are you still going to go to that conference? And I was like, absolutely not. I love my baby so much. I can't imagine being out of the room from her. So so yes, things changed for me. And it was a difficult decision because I did love my job, but I am in the very, very lucky fortunate position that I'm married to someone who saw that I was really struggling with it, because I was going to have to go back to the office way more frequently than I was planning to, because before maternity leave, I only had to be in the office 1 day a week. And I thought, I can do that. Like, I'll get, 1 day a week's fine. I'll have childcare during the week, so I can feed her during my breaks, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be, my life won't have changed much at all. And, but then my employer, who is wonderful and I love them, said that they needed me to be in the office 3 days a week. And I was just I didn't react well. And so my husband said, well, if it's really that much of a hard thing for you, it's okay for you to stay home and work on your degree, because I'm back in school. Anyway, so that's what went into mine. It was narcissism, like denialism. And then I was like, oh, maybe things are a little different. And I told my boss, when I called her to tell her that I wasn't coming back, she said, remember when I told you that things change when you, and I was like, yeah, I do, but I didn't believe you. And anyway, that's my story. Thanks.
Thank you for sharing, Courtney. Are you running for office soon? No. He said you can stay up here all day.
I would love to run for office.
Do it. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Anybody else want to share? Audrey, you haven't shared yet. Well, you have two little vibrant, amazing little girls. Yeah, but you're a professor, and
Yeah.
how are you balancing that?
Um, yeah, I didn't know what to share, so I didn't share. Um, so I'm Audrey Shelby. My kiddos are 3 and 6. I have two girls, and like your story you shared, I had my first daughter at 33, so I thought I was older. I had my second at 36, and prior to meeting my husband, I was an executive and I had been in leadership for several years. So by the time I met him, I was like maybe 10 years in. And I was like, okay, very similar to her story. I was like, oh, I think I'll be okay. I got married, missed too many date nights because I was still working reports and stuff. And I was like, oh, this ain't gonna work. and, and so I just took a different job out of leadership. Was like, let me downshift for my family. Then I had our daughter, and I remember calling T. It was crazy. And I was like, and she just keeps crying and she's hungry all the time. And I don't know what I'm doing. And so we made it through that. And then I went back into leadership and then got pregnant again. And then I stopped working altogether. I was like, maybe I'm not supposed to be in leadership. I need to stop working. And I stopped working for about a year. And then I went back in and I've been back in. And I just recently transitioned full time as a professor. And so that has worked because now I can take the kids to school. I can pick them up. I can go to graduations. I can go to the Halloween parade. But I had a lot of mommy guilt when my husband would send me videos because he's there and I'm stuck in some boring meeting going, I didn't miss the Halloween parade. And there go my girls right there. And so I think now, oh, it's okay. So I think now it's just trying to figure out, for me, it's timing, right? So I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to get my doctorate. It's working with my husband around timing. I'm blessed to have the job I have because it is so flexible. And I'm still like in leadership now. So I think because I've done it now for 17 years in my field, I know a lot more how to balance, how to take vacations. I'm learning how to say no, right? I don't need to be at every function. And you may think I have great skills and great talents, but I don't need to be there. And so really for me is trying to balance out what's important, which for me is my family. And taking a year off of work made me realize it is my family. And so that's my priority. And so that's how I make my decisions now moving forward. So thank you.
You sure you didn't plan to have Brandon and the babies walking here at the exact time? That's very good timing. And those are my god babies too. Uh, Chris, you haven't shared yet. Can you share? And then maybe you're so involved in the community through your volunteer work, and that's how I've known you as your working part. Yes, but as a mom too. Maybe talk about being able to do for others and still having to be a mom, which would be great.
Well, I thought I was an older mother as well. I was 27 when I had my first son. So I was running a business, a moving and storage business with my ex-husband. And that was very stressful and having baby, but baby went with me everywhere. Baby went to work. We did everything together. And then my daughter came. And that wise tale about when you're nursing, you can't get pregnant. It's not true. So my daughter came rather quickly. And then there was the two of us, or the two kids. And I was blessed to have a housekeeper. So she took care of the kids. So I realized I was extremely blessed. But what I wanted to say, excuse me, is now my oldest son, who's 34, just had his first son. And the blessings that I'm getting from my 7-month-old grandson and the lessons that I'm learning of how I did things and how things are now are two different opposite worlds. And when my son asked me to come and help him for the first couple of weeks, my daughter-in-law came home, and it was a blessing. I just have to say that kids, grandkids, life, it's just a pure blessing. And that my son was very, very hard on himself. He kept on saying he's screwing up. He's not doing it right. The baby's crying. Yes, the baby's going to cry. Yes, it's hard. It's a I get to go up there every other week or so and spend 2 or 3 days, and it's just all wonderful. That's
Wait on the cookie. You'll get it in a minute. They're recording, so we're gonna wait and then we'll.
Hi, my name is Valerie Venegas, and Leticia and I have known each other since I was at Golden West College and she was at the Coast Community College District. I happen to have 4 children and 4 grandchildren. And you'll die. You'll die when you know the oldest one is 16. So, yeah. Now, does that make me look young? I hope so. And the reason why I say that is because I had my first one when I was 18 and then became a single mom. So I've learned a lot about raising kids when you're a single mom and having to make it and not have any money and all of that kinds of stuff. But I have 3 wonderful sons too. And they're all Eagle Scouts. So I'm going to do a hurrah for something because I have some scouting friends here. And I think that was part of what helped me raise my kids with my husband, my second husband, who is wonderful, is he did Little League and I did scouting. And they became wonderful men because of that. And we grew together as a family and learning so many skills, like washing your clothes. I don't wash their clothes. I haven't washed their clothes since they were 10. They wash their clothes. They cook their meals. They do all of that stuff because of scouting, because of all these skills that they learned there. And I learned to survive because I just was out at Memorial Park with my 9-year-old grandson. And I said, if you put me in the wilderness, guess what? I can survive. Just give me those 10 essentials and I'll be able to do it. So motherhood is a journey, right? And you have to do all the things that you said, set the examples. I love volunteerism. So that's where I am. They know how much I love. They said, I think if I had a career outside of the one I had once I retired, it is strictly volunteerism. They've seen me feed the homeless. They've seen me shelter people. They've seen me take people into my home who are homeless. So I live by example, and I try to do that for my kids, to show them all that they can do in life and never give up. So thank you.
Claudia, Elsa, you guys want to share? It's just streaming live all around the world. No, I'm just kidding. I know, you guys know Elsa.
I met Elsa. Elsa's one of the best moms I know.
I don't know about that.
For many years.
Right. It's, when you're a mom, it seems like you're going to always, number one, you're always going to be a mom, right? No matter what. Your kids grow up, you're still a mom. But it's getting there, waiting till the kids grow up. And what you want to see is that they do well in life. And that's the challenge, because especially if you're a working mom, right? You want the best for your kids. And sometimes it's just so, we have them. We knew them before they came out. We didn't know what they looked like. And then they do. And it's like, okay, I've got to work. I also had spent quite a few years as a single mom, and that was a challenge. But I tell you that what you need is women in your life for that support. I mean, Erin, I've known her for a long time. She got me into, she's a good seller. I'll tell you that. She convinces you to do everything. And I love her, but we became good friends during the years. And you need those good friends. You need the support from other women. So, and older women, younger women, you know, all kinds of women. And that's the key, I think. Now, I was in information technology. So I was the first of everything along the way. I ended up as a director in IT. I'm out of breath. But I was a director for 20 years in IT, and the first woman in this company to be a director. So it was, being a mom helped me, I can tell you, because there wasn't that many women out of 27. I was like one of two, and I was in charge of the guys. Sorry, guys. But it's like all the experiences that you get from being a mom helps you with your life, I think, in general. So you just got to just hang in there. When you learn tips like Leticia's doing, you pass it on. Okay. And you just know that we are in it together. Okay. That's all I have to say.
All right.
Next. And Leticia, oh, I got to say something. Leticia was one of Miss Tustin's.
I didn't win though.
No,
I want to recount.
let's do it. But she was one of the very beginning.
Yeah.
And so, and I was with the program for like 10 years. I was the onstage consultant. So I feel really proud to see my girls, even though I didn't get to work with you a lot, to see how they carry themselves through life and use those skills that they learned from that. So I'm pretty proud of that. Yeah.
Thank you, Elsa. Thank you for sharing. Okay, I think we have Claudia. Come share. Yeah. I met Claudia when I first moved back to California. She was killing it as a working mom, and now she's thinking about other career opportunities and other family opportunities. So I think this book will be timely for you. Yeah.
So I'm going to share from the perspective of a stepmom. So from a stepmom's perspective, I think many of you shared, lead by example. Why? Because I'm not, her birth mother and so forth, but that is one of the things that I carry like to this day. Make sure that I'm showing an example to her about education, about work ethic, about personal and character, because there's different, households and there's different priorities in the two different households. And so from my perspective, meeting my husband, getting engaged, she was pretty young. She was a 4-year-old. And so that is still some formative years to be able to share that. Again, from the biggest thing we talk about is character, is making sure that the character that she needs to learn about who she is and how she portrays herself in public is really a big thing. And so again, that's really from my perspective. And even working, I always feel the guilt as well. Again, even though there's two different households and there's a lot of love to go around, I'm always thinking, should I be the one that's involved? Given that I'm the stepmom, should I be the one that is on the parent advisory committee, which I am, which I'm the co-chair of it. But at the end of the day, it is to show her that there is no difference between a stepmom and a mom, that I am still a mom, I'm still a caregiver, and I'm still here to show an example to her as she grows. Yeah.
Shoot, I might need to do a reprint of the book. That's another chapter too. That's so good. Anybody else want to share before we kind of disperse? And did you want come on up? Yeah. Okay.
Hi. Hi, I'm Susan. And I didn't even know this was a sharing thing, so this is great. Let's see. So I am now a mom of 4 children. We lost our oldest to leukemia. Actually, today would have been his 28th birthday. So it's a special and difficult day. But we have 3 children remaining. And I think what I've learned as a working mom, I was a single mom for quite a while. I worked at a big software company. I led large teams, and I was in IT as well. Someone else said they were in IT. And I was always the only female in the room, which made it really challenging, to be taking care of, young children and going to work every day. But yeah, we now have 3 children who are all adults, 19, 21, and 25. Oh my God. And then would have been 28. And one thing that I'm learning is to really try to just obviously let them adult and detach from their outcomes. Very important to not project the things that I had thought they would do and be in their lives. I'm proud of each one of them for different reasons, but they're adults. And you can lead by example. I heard someone say that. And obviously, show people that you have grit and that you work hard and that you care about your community and all these things. But it doesn't necessarily mean your children will follow in that path. So I think detaching from their outcomes and giving them the dignity to become who they're going to be is a really important thing that I've learned as a mom. So,
yeah, so many good nuggets. I think, moreover, I was so adamant about us sharing with each other because there's a lot of power in, again, sharing and sharing the struggle so that we know we're not alone and that we don't feel isolated, but feel empowered that we share so much of the same experience as parenting and working and just having a lot of aspirations in our personal and professional lives. It's very normal. And again, there's a lot of empowerment in sharing those stories. So thank you all for being vulnerable and sharing. And you guys are amazing. I think we're going to kind of wrap up, but please get some more food. I'm happy to sign some books. And just thank you for your support. I'm going to do another shout out for my mom and my dad who came today, who have inspired me even wanting to have kids because they put so much into their kids and just showed how it really adds to your life to really uplift and prioritize family. So thank you both. All right, y'all, eat up, have water. Thank you for coming. Thanks, everybody.